welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Leila Tagawa. Some of you have met. Glad to see you back. Welcome to our Transformation Internship Program. We're so delighted to have all of you meet each other today to really get to know each other. And we really want to thank you for participating in the program. And we really want to also acknowledge the colleges for having such support of this program and participation. We have folks here from HPU, Arlene and Sharon. We have Catherine and Lawrence from HPU as well with their program, and some folks there, and then we have really all of the colleges participating. So we're excited to have you come work with the state. We're excited to have you bring ideas for the program, and you know, if the department, I represent the Department of Human Resources, if there's anything that you need help with, assistance, or you're here with us, please do not hesitate to call on us, and we'll be happy to help you. But welcome everyone.
Do you mind if I sit? I'm going to sit down. I was trying to think about what to say today, and I mean, obviously, the first thing I want to say is thank you so much for participating in this program. I can't express how much this means to all of us to see you here. You know, for the people that you see in the room who work in government, you can't imagine how inspiring this is to see you folks be willing to participate and get engaged in government and help us to solve our challenges. You know, I've been in government for about 2 years now, almost 2 years. I started in the Department of Taxation. I'm now at the Deputy CIO for Business Transformation. And you know, one of the things that's clear to me is that we definitely have daunting challenges ahead of us. What's also clear to me is that it's going to be you folks who are going to solve these challenges. Some of these are such large challenges that we're really going to need you to step up, come up with fresh ideas, help us fix the things that need to be fixed or improved. And that's why this is such a great program, and it's why it's so great to see all of you. Bono said, we were talking in the back of the room just a second ago, and he was saying, it's a little strange to be having this discussion, and basically we're saying we're passing the buck. It's not that bad, but
maybe the torch.
It's a little bit like that.
Torch.
But a little bit about this program. The genesis of it actually is it starts with the governor when he came in. One of his major prongs was transforming government operations. So as part of that effort, one aspect of it was actually bringing in the state's first CIO. That's Sunny Bagwalia, behind the guy, no, right there. And so Sunny came in about 1.5 years ago. And his first job was to come in and basically take an assessment of all the state IT resources throughout the state. As you might imagine, it was even worse than he expected, but we had outdated systems throughout the state, 40-plus-year-old systems throughout the state. Obviously, because these systems have been in place so long, the processes were outdated as well. And so, you know, after that assessment period, then Sunny and OIMT, which is the Office of Information Management and Technology, basically started to put together a transformation plan for the state. That was recently completed, and the plan was 1,432 pages. And that's the high-level part of it. So, and it's a 10 to 12-year plan, but it's a much-needed plan. It's something that, if we can implement most of these things, this state is going to be dramatically changed in incredible ways. Just the way we do things in the state, the processes that we have in place, all of these things, the technology that we bring in. We're going to be more effective. We're going to serve the community better. We're going to be more efficient and streamline things. It's going to impact everything we do. I was thinking today in a meeting that the impact of these technology changes is probably about as impactful as the cell phone. So when I was growing up, we didn't have cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone until college. But right now, if everyone tries to imagine what it would be like not to have a cell phone, I think that's kind of where we are right now. If we get this technology in, it's going to have a dramatic impact. So with knowing we have 10 to 12 years and we have all of this work ahead of us, and we know that we need your generation to help us out, and we know that in in these departments. You know, the good employees are working so hard at what they do on a day-to-day basis. We know that we need help. We know we need to bring in ideas into these departments and think about things in different ways. And so that's when Layla and I, and Barbara as well, collaborated on this to see if we could set up a program where we could bring in students from the schools to basically help us out in this effort. Our number one priority, putting that aside for the moment, is actually to help you in your careers, to give you experiences that are going to help you, you know, develop your knowledge and skills. So that's our number one priority, and we think that this program will give you that. But it is a little bit selfish. We do want your help, and we want your fresh ideas, and we think you can be really helpful. We think you can come into our departments and talk to our folks and offer some fresh ideas and different approaches to things, and that's really going to help. And so we set up this program, and we're hoping you get everything you want out of this program. And if there's anything that you need, or if you have questions, or if you have suggestions, you know, please let us know. This is the first year of the program. You're the first class. And we hope this thing will evolve, and we hope this thing can evolve organically, and we hope you add things to this program. So, you know, again, you know, all I can say is thank you so much for participating in this. I'd like to now introduce Sunny, the CIO of the state. Sunny, as I said, came here about 1.5 years ago. He came from the federal government environment. He was at the Department of Interior. He was the CIO there. He was the CIO at the Department of Indian Affairs, and then he was at the FBI. You know, one of our challenges is security, and so he's very sensitive to that, and he's going to help us in that area. And we need a lot of help there. But I'd like to ask Sunny to come up and share a few words with you.
Thank you, Randy and Layla, for really putting this program together. But before we start, actually, I was going to introduce Beth Geisting. He's from the Governor's Office on Health IT. Health IT is something that's the biggest area for us in the state, and everyone is affected by health, and we want obviously a healthy workforce. And I think I'd like Beth to just tell you how important this program is. And she was walking by, I told her about the Transformation Internship Program, and she said, I want to meet the Transformation Internship Program. So she's right here, and this is something impromptu, but really, hear from Beth. She is the coordinator for the state and works for the governor.
Thank you very much, and I did sort of shoehorn myself onto the agenda, so I won't take too long. I've been working in the governor's office for the past 1.5 years. I am the healthcare transformation coordinator and also the state health IT coordinator. And so all of those are very, very significant and big jobs. We have very, very limited resources with which to carry them out. So Sunny and I are fully partners in trying to get done what needs to be done. We cannot transform our healthcare system in any way unless we also accompany that with transformed health information technology. That truly is the foundation and the tool that's going to make it happen. And we have so much work to do across state government, working with the private sector. All of these things have got to be built successfully. And so I have great confidence in working with OIMT, and I have great confidence in working with you, and I hope and trust that the cream of the crop among you will be clamoring to work with the health IT team. So,
right. Thank you, Beth. So I'm not just going to sit on the chair, I'm going to stand, just to show you I'm different from him. So interesting enough, just one fact, he's from University of Florida. He's a Gator. And I am from LSU, I'm a Tiger. And also a Syracuse Orangeman. Yeah? So just want to mention there's a little bit of friendly competition, but this guy used to be a champion tennis player for University of Florida. So I just want to let you know something about him that you probably won't have known. You know, in addition to being a great deputy CIO, I've got 2 deputy CIOs. The other one's Keone. Have you met Keone yet? Or?
No.
Okay, he's going to be coming in. So this is a great opportunity. I remember long ago in a planet far away, when I was young and I joined college and I went into the workforce, I did not have such a program like what you're experiencing today. You have a great opportunity in front of you. And the opportunity in front of you is to contribute in a significant way to your state, to your government, to the services that you deserve as citizens and residents. Would you agree that most of the services you get from the state are a pain in the, I'm on TV, right? Okay, they're a pain, right? They're a pain, right? You go in there, it's a paper process, you don't know what's going on, and so on and so forth. We need to change the business processes, how we get things done. So that's Randy's job, to make sure business transformation happens, you know. Also, when I came in, I was an engineer. I'm a double E by training, and I also have a management business degree. And I thought, I know the answers, yeah. Whatever you learned in college is good, but when you get into the real workforce, that is invaluable. That experience set will really drive you. And you can shine. With all due respect, when I was in college, you know, I was not, didn't apply myself as much as I should have. I watched a little bit of Star Trek and other things, you know. And I could have been a better student. But when I came to work, I never looked back. I worked basically my butt off, and it was exciting. You have this opportunity right now. You will get to see so many problems, because we're such a target-rich environment. You're like, oh my God, there is no way these guys run like this. You're like, oh my goodness, yeah? And when we were your age, you'll say, I can solve this in like 2 days. Pace yourself, take your time. Because there'll be so many things to fix that it's be amazing what you can bring to the equation. So when I first came into work, I was in the Boeing company. Great company, learned a lot. But I learned with open mind and a good attitude what I can just learn from everybody. I was like a sponge. And I would ask you to look at that. Bring your ideas, but also be a sponge to see what we have, because you learn a lot in the situation. You know, I was in NASA. Great environment, shuttles, rockets, things like that. Here we got all kinds of other rockets, except the missiles are launching different ways. Yeah? And sometimes, and that was a joke, sorry, there's no missiles over here. But sometimes we just have all kinds of stuff going on, like, holy mackerel, what is that? You'll see things called politics. You'll see other things that you learn on organizational change management, which is how do people work together? Believe it or not, the biggest challenge is sometimes people and how they work with each other, right? It's a fascinating study. You won't get that in college. I was in the FBI. I learned a lot in the FBI. I was one of the few minorities who reached all the way to the top. And when I was there when 9/11 happened. And boy, did we work as a country and united together to make things happen. We did so many amazing things. I learned. But my attitude was always learn, inspire, work towards something. You have a tremendous opportunity like that in the state. Same thing in Interior. Same thing in the White House programs that I was running. You have a great opportunity with this plan that we put together. Read the plan. It's at hawaii.gov/OIMT. We'll give you the URL. You have a great opportunity to really use technology to transform how state of Hawaii is going to reach the front. Because we are right now not in the front. We're in the back. We're in the bottom third. Because we have found that we do things a little differently, manual, silo, but we can leapfrog to the front. So this device, you're talking about cell phones. This is my government issue, BlackBerry. This is the iPhone 5 which I have, which is my own personal issue. So I use more sophisticated technology on my personal than what I got on my government. So my point to you is, we all are going to learn how to use technology, but you're going to have to use technology to work with business processes, work with people, and solve specific problems. I'll just leave you with this one thought. We have, in the state of Hawaii, it's an $11 billion government enterprise. There are 36 lines of business. We have close to, I don't know how many, but let's say about 750 systems on average. We keep the confession booth open and the sinners come in every day and tell us about the systems that they're building, yeah? Too many systems. We have about 750 IT people, about 41,000 government people, and 1.4 million residents in the state of Hawaii that we got to serve. We've got hundreds of business processes. You will have an opportunity to work with folks like Beth, who's putting health IT together. Tremendous. I mean, leading edge stuff that we're doing in terms of health exchanges and so on and so forth. to other things that we're doing in terms of mobile access to your data and myhawaii.gov, that kind of thing. And with Barbara and Leila, how we can look at human resources. With Randy and with Keone, how we look at technology and looking at newer ways to do security, newer ways we can get to information. I mean, you have a tremendous opportunity. And I'll leave you with this thought. Hawaii just recently was recognized as being the best plan in the country. We came from nowhere. It's because of all of us working together. So we can do it. We can get forward. And I'm just so excited to have you here. So use this opportunity. You will see this as something that will help you in your career. You will see this as an opportunity that will help you to hopefully get inspired to come help us. Because you will see, oh my God, these people need some help, right? But you'll also see how much great work is being done by the people here. And with your help and Pono's inspiration, you will see that there's a tremendous opportunity in front of you. So thank you so much for coming here. I'm so excited to be here. And now I can go back and with this new energy and actually do my work, right, for the rest of the day. So thanks again, and I really appreciate you coming over. Thanks.
As you can see, by participating in the program, you're going to get exposed to a lot of great leaders that work for state government. You know, Sunny and Beth, Randy, as you can see, kind of the energy that the administration has. We also have Barbara Krieg here. She's the director of the Department of Human Resources. She's also very excited about the program and supporting us as well. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say we have an ulterior motive, and that is, I have an ulterior motive at least. We hope that over the next weeks and months, you will come to be, as you're going through what you're doing over the next couple of months, keep in mind the possibility of a career with the state. I worked in the private sector my entire career until 2 years ago. I also came into the state, and I have to tell you, there is nothing more satisfying than government service. It really makes a difference. You can make more money, probably, in private sector. You will never find a more satisfying job. We make a difference every day, Layla and me and Randy and all of us. And that is worth an awful lot. We really hope that we can establish ourselves as the employer of choice for all of you, all of your friends, all of your family members. But just keep that in mind. So thank you, and we really do appreciate your help.
Just to recognize some folks that have joined us. I did recognize Marshawn from University of Phoenix, so thank you for joining us. We also have Michael Ito from the Capulet Community College in the back there, so thank you. And then William from Brigham Young University. Yep. And Theon, thank you for joining us. So welcome. And Janice, sorry. Janice here from Chaminade. Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot of time to talk about the different improvements, changes that we can implement in the state, a lot of the challenges, and we're going to work together to identify all of these things. You know, with all due respect to Beth, there's a long line of departments that would like to work with you.
But I just happen to be here today, so I'm first.
Oh, you're Akama.
She has some presents too.
As I mentioned, you know, we think you folks are a huge part of improving state government. But we also know that it's not just about state government. You know, we provide services out to the community, and we're interconnected in this community. It's not just about the public sector, it's also about the private sector. And, you know, how we function as a community is dependent upon that relationship and how we interact and the types of solutions that we bring out. And so when we put this program together, it wasn't just about, you know, departments collaborating or the state putting together a program. You know, it was about actually bringing in the community leaders and people in the private sector because they have great ideas as well. And for your experience, your education, your careers, getting to see that perspective as well, getting exposure to these folks, really impressive folks, is also a very important aspect of your development. So because of that, you know, we have here Pono Shim. He's the CEO of Enterprise Honolulu. Enterprise Honolulu is the economic development board for the island of Oahu. Pono is very well respected in this community and business circles. He has a board of something like 30 individuals who are CEOs of some of the largest companies in the state. But in addition to that, Pono also speaks out throughout the community on things not just about business, but things that are important to the health of the community as a whole. Practicing aloha in this community, interacting with people, in a way that makes sense for this community. And those are things that are just as important as knowledge and skills that are going to help you in your development as well. And so we thought that Pono would be just an excellent partner in this effort. This is very important to Pono. We talk about this all the time, and he's very excited about this. And he certainly, we're so lucky to have him as part of this program.
So, just to give you a story, when he was over at he was the deputy director of the tax department. So one day he calls me and says, "Hey, we need to talk." I said, "Okay," so I'll come over to his office, and he has these binders on his coffee table, and he said, "We got a problem." And he just got these binders laid out. And he started to reveal to me a lot of the problems within our tax situation, Department of Taxation. So I said, well, why don't we have a meeting with a couple of my board members, a couple of my friends. So I invited Robbie Alm, who's the Senior Vice President of Hawaiian Electric, Robin Campaniano, at the time was the Managing Director for Ulupono, Nelson Lau, who is he's a principal with one of the largest CPA firms in Hawaii, and then Colbert Matsumoto, who's the CEO of Island Insurance. Just let's sit down and let's see if we can help Randy out. And Randy was one of us at one time. And so as he started to share this with us and reveal the problem, this was the response he got. "You know, you guys at the state." In other words, he went to the dark side. So I think that he's trying to hook me into the dark side. But Randy is one of my really, really closest friends. And when he shared with me what this whole initiative is about, it is purely thrilling. And this is why. We have the brilliance of oversight of what we can do to transform. The tools, the vision, the assessment, the recognition of symptoms, and then we have resources of young, energetic minds that have a foundation. And so with that, we have tremendous amounts of opportunities to attack, to correct, to implement, to alter, to change, possibly the course of Hawaii. So I think what I bring to this initiative is something that I will share in story. Those of you who know me I'm a storyteller. So Enterprise Honolulu, so you can understand who we are, best fits in this way. In the Department of Commerce of the federal government, there's an organization called the Economic Development Administration, EDA. They are responsible for economic development in the country, policies, funding. So that's federal government. At the state, we have the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism. Each county, every mayor has an Office of Economic Development. So that's all government. And then in the private sector, we have what's called the EDBs, Economic Development Boards. So Enterprise Honolulu is the Oahu Economic Development Board. So we partner, and we're consistently working with government from the private sector. So that's what I am CEO of. The reason why I'm so excited is because 4 years ago, I knew nothing about economic development. Nothing. I was in the private sector as a private businessman. Unlike all of you, I don't have a college degree. But 4 years ago, I was asked to go and assist a man who was considered one of the top 2 economists in the country, was brought to Hawaii to fix and help revitalize Hawaii's economy. He was brought from Florida. And after 8 years, from 2001 to 2008 and 9, the organization had pretty much gone bankrupt, not just financially, but in public trust and public sentiment, and political will. And I was just asked to go and see if I could help. And what I started to do is just go and contribute my time, just kokua. Kind of like what you folks are doing too, spending time. 10 months after I walked in his life just to go and help, I was asked to become the CEO. What did I inherit? An organization that was ready to flatline. We were on the ventilator. What's interesting is that today I see, even within all the initiatives that Sunny and Barb are all working on together with Beth, we have individuals, organizations, departments, positions, initiatives that are really living off life support. But the majority of their purpose is long-term health. The reason for their existence is to do tremendous things to benefit mankind and our community. Yet, we're living off of life support. And what I notice is that what we're doing is we often leverage the purpose for which we exist to get resources to keep the body alive. It's a real interesting phenomenon. When I took over our organization, we looked at our problems: financial, public trust. And what I see most people do when we assess is we say, these are the problems, so what we need to do is go get money. What we need to do is go and build a branding strategy. What we need to do is go and market. And the reason why Randy asked me to, I think, participate is because that's not how we became what is considered today one of the premier economic development organizations in Hawaii and a premier leadership organization. That's not what we did. What we did is what we looked at as the problems. We looked at them as symptoms, not the problems. These are the symptoms. What is the problem which is causing us to have this financial symptom? What is the problem which is causing us to have this public sentiment symptom? And it came down to what are we doing or not doing which is causing us to have these symptoms. When we started to do that, we started to fix ourselves. As we fixed ourselves, we fixed the problems, we changed our symptoms. It shifts the culture. So Randy talked about aloha. He talked about aloha because that's the foundation upon which I practice the redevelopment, the transformation of culture within an organization. And Sunny talked about relationships. That relationships, quite often we can have the greatest ideas, but like the guy who was brought here, there might have been some relationship issues, so we couldn't deploy. So that capital of trust is so key. And that's what I think that I'm going to try to bring to our opportunity to become friends. Just to add in, yesterday I was meeting with two executives from the Ulupono Initiative, the Arts Program, with their two managing partners. They're sharing with me some of the legislation they're working on, and there's a bunch in agriculture and energy. So they're just coming for some direction on how to really, this is something relatively new for them. So I was just sharing with them. And I asked them, why are you guys spending so much time on legislation? And it's because they want to make a difference, kind of like all of us in this room. So I said, okay, I understand, guys. So I know you're doing that, and it's important, but maybe we should invest some time in building legislators as well as legislation. So that in 10 years, we've got leaders who will be managing this legislation. Not just building the legislation, but building the legislators. And I want to believe that's actually what Randy and Cindy and Barb and even Beth and the governor are doing here. So I'm not going to really share anything more except, you want me to go through these questions? There are some things that I just want you guys to maybe consider and then discuss amongst yourselves. Because these are things that we'll probably deal with as we have time to gather. I think on a Wednesday, we're going to try and do these meetings on a regular basis. Just 4 simple questions. What would you like to take from this internship opportunity take away as an individual? What's your personal initiative as an individual? What is it that you want to learn or that you want to experience? Consider. Please consider that. What's your personal objective on a personal level? Then, how might you apply what you take away to make a difference? You know, we're speaking to you as people who are going to be with us for a long time in Hawaii. Hawaii is our home. I would suspect that some of you will be going off to other homes. So it doesn't take anything away from us really to send you off with some aloha to your home. So in consideration that, how might you apply what you take away to make a difference, whether it's in Hawaii, and hopefully it is in Hawaii, and maybe to another home. Number 3 and 4 are relatively similar, but they're on opposite ends. They're the antithesis of each other. What is one of your greatest social, economic, or political fears? What is one of your greatest social, economic, or political fears? This might reveal something to us that really helps us to understand, from your perspectives, hope for the future. What is one of your greatest social, economic, or political fears? And then probably more important, what is one of your highest hopes, socially, economically, or politically? Your highest hope.